Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Brigitte and today I want to go through how we homeschool with us both working full-time jobs. I will just give you a little bit of backstory as to how we got to this place and then kind of walk through some of the logistics and then talk about how we are going to do it a little differently next year. So we are finishing up our first full year of homeschooling. We pulled our children out midway through the year last grade, and we used my son's third grade curriculum workbooks and kind of piecemealed the rest of the year together. And my daughter was in pre-K, so she didn't really need anything. We just kind of tried to do some letter recognition and reading. She had started reading with a kindergarten curriculum at her private school, but had kind of lost interest, and we had a lot going on because we moved cities. I started a new job. My husband was starting, our business was entering, it wasn't even a year old. And so it was a lot of transition. Also, we had a new baby who was 9 weeks old when we moved. And so there was a lot going on. So some of her stuff kind of just like dropped, and we did the bare minimum with my son and finished up his curriculum through the workbooks. So first of all, our homeschooling journey started when we pulled them out. But before that, we had years before had wanted to maybe do it, but it was never an option because we both worked outside of the school or worked outside the home. So the kids went to a private school, but it got to a point where it was too expensive. And we started talking with some of my husband's clients for his business, and they were all homeschool moms. So we really got to see behind the scenes, how does this work? How does it work for different families? How do people do it differently? What types of styles are there? What curriculum is there? Like all of these different things that unless you know families, like they might not, might not be apparent, like how different you can make it and how unique you can make it to your own family life. So we ended up starting an online platform for homeschool parents, and it's evolving. We're offering a lot more things this coming year, but it was for homeschool parents and how to get started, encouragement, community, advice. Like we have so many offerings in there, and we're expanding it even more. So because of that, my husband was able to start working consistently from home, and he had left his full-time ministry job a year or so before that. And so now that he was home, when we decided to move cities, we decided, hey, we don't know what's going to happen when we move. Like we don't have the finances to enroll them into a private school. Public school is not an option for us because of ideologies and who's pouring into our kids. And so we just decided, hey, we're going to homeschool. We're going to figure out a way to make it work. At first, the baby was home, but now the baby is in daycare. He is a 1.5 years, and that is the best option for our situation right now. So he's working at home. I'm currently working outside of the home in a now 5-day-a-week job, 8 to 4:30, and actually I need to go in right now. So I'm going to pick this up later, and this is just realistic and how it works. So I'm going to continue this later on. I'm back, different day. So how homeschool works practically in our house is at the start of the school year, well, actually like the summer before the fall of the start of the school year, we will together, Brandon and I, choose a curriculum for both of the kids. They are now entering into 5th grade. Oh my gosh. And 1st grade. And the baby is a 1.5 years. He's currently in daycare. When he's probably around preschool age, if I'm not home by then or working per diem, then he'll probably come home. It'll be more manageable, especially with the older two, to help, guide him through his stuff. So we will explore curriculum options and decide what companies we want to use for different subjects. This next year, we will probably do some more online options or computer-based options for the kids because Brendan is the one home, and it will be easier for him because he is also working full-time from the home. And so currently we are using Apologia for math, Christian Light for language arts, and we love the Christian Light. We're definitely doing that again. I'm not sure about anything else. We had a science curriculum. We didn't do a whole lot of it this past year. So at the beginning of the year or the summer before, we will go through and talk about what kind of schedule we want. So this past year we did 5 days a week, but we school year round. So we got an Excel document or a Google Sheets document or whatever, and went through and planned out all the years. And so the way that we do it is not a set like 2 weeks on, or 6 weeks on, 2 weeks off, or, break for the summer. We like to do it year round so that we can take breaks as needed for special events or holidays that we would like to take time off for. So we like being in control of that. We like the freedom of that. And so like this past year, when we had our online conference Brave for Made to Homeschool, we took off that week before because Brandon was super busy with that and prepping and just doing all of the things. And to add homeschool was just going to be too much. We do take off when we go like on vacation, and we're going again to FPEA. And we took off last year for that. So it's just when we want to take off so that we can have a little more free time, then that's when we do it. And I like that we don't have extended times of no schooling, because when kids get out of routine, it just takes them that much longer to get back into it. So even if they're only doing a few things, and it's not even as heavy of a load, if they're still doing something consistently, then it's super helpful to us. So we go through and we get on the same page of what we want to do for each subject. Then we will plan it all out. And what we've been doing towards the end of this school year, and what we'll probably do when we start a new curriculum, is decide, hey, what does mommy need to look over every night to give feedback for you for the next day, so that you kind of stay on track and you're getting graded. If they do great, I'll do stickers on the pages, or write little notes, and I'll say, hey, you're consistently like missing this, work on this area, like capitalization, punctuation, when I was doing language arts. And so there's some areas where I'll put a sticky note and I'll say, hey, review with daddy. And that way they can have feedback, and it alleviates the need for Brandon to do so much of that. But there's a lot he does in the moment to help with their progression and stuff. But then when they start to do independent stuff, then I'll give feedback. And so I just have my little rocking chair, and I started putting sticky notes, have pens there, stickers, and I would just go through and kind of grade things. So we'll probably do some of that for whatever's not computer based. And I think that is good for them. And it's a way that I can kind of see what they're doing and how they're doing, since I'm not there being the one that's teaching them for the most part. Also, most nights of the week, we do try to read. So I will read to them. And I think for next year, well, really just starting in the next week or two, I want to take some time for them to read to me at night. So maybe every other night for 4 nights of the week or something. So that's 2 nights each kid. I will have them read with me for like 15 minutes after the other one is like put to bed. So Brielle needs practice in that. And then I think will be good for Benjamin to practice reading out loud and then kind of summarizing what he's reading for that 15 minutes. So read alouds at night that I do. Lately we've been doing Heroes of the Faith books. So we did, let me make sure it's not time for me to go in here. What time is it? Okay, I got 5 more minutes till I got to go in. Okay, so we've been doing Heroes of the Faith. So we did C.S. Lewis. We're doing John Wesley. Benjamin had read Nate Saint, and he's reading D.L. Moody. And so the kids are allowed to read at night after we put them to bed, for as long as they want. They have little book lights. So Benjamin has been reading the Narnia series, and then Brielle just kind of looks through and tries to read some of her books. We got Fancy Nancy and some other books that she likes to read. So I really want to get her reading so it's not a chore, but something fun for her to do. So we will read something in the evening. I will read to them things that I want them to have knowledge of, but that they won't necessarily read on their own, that maybe it's above their level a little bit. And it's a nice time for us to just try to cuddle together. They're very like all over the place in the beginning, but by the end of me reading, which is usually like maybe 20 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes is really, depends on what we're reading and what has happened that day. But by the end of it, they're all like laying down, cuddling with me or being quiet. It takes a little time for them to like calm down, but it's a good thing to do in the evening. And so we do try to do that the majority of the time. It doesn't always happen because life is crazy. And if it's already late, then we just don't read because I'm exhausted too. So that's how it looks practically for us homeschooling. And I'll get into some more in a little bit. So let me show you how we have our homeschool area set up. So we have in our dining room, this desk that we got from Amazon. And Brandon was going to build one, and it was going to cost actually more than this. And then it was going to take a long time, and he didn't have time at the time. Not that he has time now, but it was definitely like more of a time crunch at that moment when we were going to set this up. So we have 2 computer stations here, one for Brielle, one for Benjamin. They are kind of hand-me-down, piecemealed together monitors and little computers on the back. They're these cool little, I don't know what to call it. Brandon could give you all the specs. And if you're interested in knowing how we have it set up, leave me a comment and I can link some stuff and kind of help you to know what we did exactly. But I would need Brandon's input for that. But they're small and we have headphones connected so they can both work on it, and they do IXL. And then they're going to do, they're doing CTC math, and so they can both work at the same time and use their headphones, and so it's great. Brielle's broke, so we need to get a new pair. But they have these 2 workstations that they can be on the computer app. They also have games and stuff on there when we let them play games, but we have it out in the open and we can see everything that they are doing, and that is the way we prefer it. So next to this desk workstation, we have a bookshelf that has all of their school books. So they have reading books in their room on a huge bookshelf there. And we also have books out in the living room area in these cube shelf things. And so their school books are mainly what goes in this area. So we have a flashcard setup bin here, and then I just changed this out on the bottom to have 2 bins each for their books and journals and whatever else they need. And periodically I go through them because stuff gets shoved into them, random papers get shoved in, and then I just need to clear it out. So everything is going to be in these bins, and previously I had them stacking them single file, and then I had like a bin separating them, and they just weren't putting stuff back. It was getting messy. Stuff was toppling. So I actually took out the ones that I use to help grade, and I put them in my room in this basket. So the way that this basket works is when Benjamin finishes his work for the day, when it needs to be graded, he puts it in this basket. And this is new because we were finding that stuff wasn't getting completed. He said it was done, it wasn't done, or it was just, he was struggling in an area and it wasn't done correctly, but he wasn't getting the immediate feedback. And so he was doing it incorrectly for the whole, week. So what we've implemented, which I know a lot of other people have done in their homeschool journey, is we have, some people they call it like a turn-in basket or like a paper checking basket, whatever it is, whatever you want to call it. But he puts it in my room because that's where I notice it and see it. And then I can sit in my little rocking chair, go through it. I have my, little bin of stickers and pens and little, sticky notes and stuff. And so I can go through and do his check off stuff. When it's done, I put it back on the dining room table and he can go for it and use it the next day. So I think that will work better because I can put things in this bin and just put it back in. It's easier for them to pull it out and be able to get what they need. So we also have some other books, dictionaries. We have these little ones, but then we actually ended up getting a bigger dictionary from the 1800s. It's amazing. It's very biblical and doesn't have any crazy words in it. So we have some of that. We have Bibles, and we have just some other stuff on these shelves here. On top, we have a place for tape, a stapler. We have a little timer, and then cute little plant. And then above it, we have our pencil sharpener. So it's great. It's not electric. They can sharpen their pencils whenever they need. So where we keep all of their utensils is in this wooden thing. I don't know what it's really supposed to be used for, but I got it at Hobby Lobby because I saw something similar or the exact same thing from somebody that I was watching online, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's brilliant. So since they do a lot of stuff at the dining room table, sometimes we keep it on the dining room table, but sometimes we keep it up on this little ledge here. So periodically I also have to go through and kind of reorganize this because, kids don't always put stuff back the way that it's supposed to be. But I have a section for pens and dry erase markers, one for pencils, one for, on the other side I have crayons and colored pencils. Then I also have a place for like tools, protractors, little spinny things for math. One for sticky notes, one for some random stuff, and then one for these little story history things that we get. And so it works well. They have other pouches that they will use for markers or other things, but they have so much. And so I try to simplify what we have out, but they love to do crafts and color and all that type of stuff. So I love that they can do that, and so I try to keep stuff on hand for them. We also have this little cart that is next to the table, and in it is kind of blank paper, sometimes blank construction paper, although I have another bin with construction paper in it, but their pieces of paper kind of go in here. So any little projects that they're doing, any like little craft things, they make tons of little things for games and all this creative stuff. And so I kind of keep all of that there, and periodically, again, I have to go through and kind of weed out some of the stuff that they've created, but then they're not continually using. And so I kind of just throw it away when they're not looking, and they never miss it. So if it's something that I feel like they worked hard on or I've seen them playing with, then I will keep it in that spot. But I also have some books, coloring books, little sticker books, some of their extra markers, some extra notebooks and stuff that are more play notebooks, not school notebooks. All that kind of goes in here, and I can pull it out, go through it, put it back. It mostly stays where it is, but you can wheel it out if need be. So if you homeschool, but you're also working either part-time or full-time, how is it that you do it in your family? Please leave a comment down below. Let me know, because it is hard, I think, for working moms to go through this journey, but I think that it is so worth it. And so though it doesn't look like I originally thought it would look for us to homeschool, I'm really glad that we are homeschooling. So if you're a part of the Made to Homeschool community, comment below and let me know. And I love seeing you guys in the comments, and I love seeing M2H members and all of the community that we have there, and just the encouragement that I see. It just warms my heart, and that is why we started the community. We love it. We love being able to help each other out, and I am so thankful for that. So until we meet again, don't forget, life is better together.